Hey, how you doing today, folks? Today's video will be my continuation of the plot league breakdown, and we are currently on episode 5. So we are nearing the end of the season, so I sort of expect things to start really picking up by now, because we know Game of Thrones tends to have its most action-packed episodes right before the finale, so we should be seeing them start to set up everything and put characters in position for some sort of battle or attack in this one. And I will start this video like I have done with my others. I will first read the entire episode, then I will go back to the beginning and break each section down as I work my way down. So let's begin. Episode 5, it says, Sam leaves Old Town for Winterfell with Gilly and the baby. Jorah reunites with Dany at Dragonstone after apparently healing his grayscale in Old Town at some point earlier in the season. Jon receives a raven letting him know that Bran and Arya are at Winterfell. Jon, Jorah, and Gendry, not sure how he gets in the mix, set sail to the Wall. They are looking to capture a White, the White Walkers' mindless zombies, in order to prove to the other lords of Westeros and Dany they exist, and to gain support in fighting them. Jorah, Gendry, and Jon spotting on the set, leaving Spain on a boat. This is probably the most compelling evidence for the leak's veracity, as they are such an odd pairing of characters to be mentioned so specifically in the leaks. Jaime and Bronn secretly meet with Tyrion in Davos. Tyrion tries to persuade Jaime to get Cersei to surrender to Dany, but Jaime ignores it. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning and start breaking this stuff down. Says Sam leaves Old Town for Winterfell with Gilly and the baby. So to me, I think this only means one thing. I think it means that Sam has learned everything that he sought out for, so now it's time to get back and show Jon Snow exactly what he has learned, and help him prepare for the war against the White Walkers. And personally, I never expected Sam to stay at the Citadel for the amount of time that it truly would take someone to become a maester. Although we know Sam loves books and he loves to learn the history of the Seven Kingdoms, and he also loved Maester Aemon, who always treated Sam like family. So it's not a surprise that Sam would want to follow in his footsteps after he died and become the new Maester of the Night's Watch at Castle Black. But Sam does not have the time to be at the Citadel for years and years to do everything it takes to become one. Everyone knows that time is of the essence, and Sam knows firsthand about what everyone really needs to focus on, that being the war against the Night's King. And I think Sam's main motivation for going to the Citadel was mentioned by him when he and Gilly were traveling to Old Town. Sam said, I want to become a maester to help Jon when the time comes so we will be safe. So I think now that Sam has found the books that he needed, it's time to leave and meet back up with Jon so they can start putting this knowledge to use. And I think Sam figured out how to cure grayscale, which I will talk about shortly, but most importantly, I think he figured out the magic that is needed to create Valyrian steel. Now, only if Sam could find someone that is a blacksmith, especially one that already knows how to reforge Valyrian steel. And I'll get back to that a little bit later. But I think while Sam is at the Citadel, him and Jon will still be in communication, sending ravens back and forth, mostly about Sam's discoveries. And I think once Sam finds the information he is looking for, he's going to notify Jon and tell Jon that he also has Heartsbane, and I think that's when Jon is going to tell him to come on back. And I also think at some point, Davos probably told Jon about Gendry and who he truly is, and that he is this skilled blacksmith, and that he did set him free at Dragonstone and may be someone they could use in the future. And I think while Jon and Davos are at Dragonstone meeting with Daenerys, I think that's when Jon's going to send Davos to find this Gendry that he has been talking about. That way he can introduce him to Sam, and together they can start making Valyrian steel swords for the war that's to come. And I think in return, Jon or Daenerys could legitimize Gendry and allow him to take control of Storm's End. Because we know that Gendry, while he was living in King's Landing, he was the apprentice for the blacksmith Tobho Mott, I think that's how you pronounce his name, who was a foreigner from the free city of Qohar. And what is that city known for? It's known for its skilled blacksmiths, who have the knowledge of how to reforge Valyrian steel, which is exactly why Tywin Lannister used him to reforge Ned Stark's sword Ice, which he used to create Widow's Wail and Oathkeeper. So not only do I think Gendry learned how to reforge Valyrian steel while working under him, But I think with the information that Sam learned while at the Citadel, I think Sam now knows the magic that is used to create Valyrian steel. So I think Gendry can possibly take any type of castle forged steel and create an endless amount of swords using Sam's learned magic. But I want to move on, and it says Jorah reunites with Dany at Dragonstone, apparently after healing his grayscale. So, like I said in previous videos, if this does take place, then Sam probably meets Jorah and is told he is a Mormont, son of Sam's former Lord Commander at the Night's Watch, and I think upon learning this, Sam will want to help him. I'm sure if Jorah tells Sam he needs cured, that way he can get back to Daenerys, Sam may want to help him because of that too, considering Sam was very fond of Maester Aemon, who was also a Targaryen. Sam may want to help out of respect for Maester Aemon as well. And it also says Jon receives a raven, letting him know that Bran and Arya are at Winterfell. And according to Watchers on the Wall's sources, which have been extremely accurate so far, apparently a Stark reunion does take place next season with Arya, Bran, and Sansa. And personally, I really hope Jon gets to reunite with his family as well. Hopefully when he leaves Dragonstone to go on this expedition north of the Wall, he stops at home first to see his family, and maybe even tell them what he's doing and how dangerous it is. And hopefully, or maybe by then, Bran will have learned more about the Night's King and his powers, and then he can give Jon some advice for when he goes on his mission. Which leads me to the next part where it says Jon, Jorah, and Gendry set sail to the Wall. And they are looking to capture the White in order to prove to the other lords of Westeros and Dany that they do exist, so they can gain support to fight them in the war. It says this is the most compelling evidence for the leaks because these three characters are such an odd couple, just to be mentioned so specifically. And now seeing them in the photos together, I think it must be true. But I'm wondering how the conversation went down that put these three in position to go out on a mission together. I'm thinking Jon wants to take Gendry to meet Sam as well. That way they can start forging Valyrian steel. And maybe Jorah is there during this conversation and says something to Jon like, Sam, that's the guy that cured my grayscale. Let me go with you. The least I can do is help you with this, considering he did save my life. And maybe Jorah even says something to Daenerys like, this is something I have to do. I have shamed my family and was exiled from Westeros by Ned Stark. So let me help his son, which everyone does still think Jon is Ned's son. And then in return, Jon could say, if you do this with me, I will forgive you of your crimes and allow you to live freely in Westeros. I will also take you to Lyanna Mormont, who I have this close relationship with now at this point. And when she learns that you have helped me, I will talk to her about you being forgiven by all the Mormonts. And hopefully the thought of you disgracing the name is forgotten. So let me know what you think about that, how you think that goes down, how Jon, Jorah, and Gendry are the ones setting sail together to go north. Why do you think these three specifically chose to go together? And the last part of episode 5 says Jaime and Bronn secretly meet with Tyrion in Davos. Tyrion tries to persuade Jaime to surrender to Dany, but Jaime ignores it. And it seems likely Jaime is still madly in love with Cersei, so I understand why he would do this. But personally, I wish Jaime would wake up and get the hell away from Cersei. And I know most of you hate Jaime and want him dead, but I actually like him as a character and want to continue to see him on the show. Only I want to see him fighting for the right side, of course. And we have yet to see any photo evidence that this scene takes place, so I'm not even sure that it happens. But looking at this photo with Tyrion and Davos together while they are getting Gendry makes me think they could have met Jaime and Bronn before they found Gendry. And I would like to see Tyrion and Bronn have a scene together. I always liked that duo. I actually like Tyrion and Bronn better than Jaime and Bronn together, but that's just my opinion. And maybe when Jaime is nearly killed by Daenerys and her dragons, hopefully then he realizes he is fighting for a losing cause, and in a war that he cannot win. So, tell me guys what you think about this episode. How do you see some of this going down? Comment below and let me know your thoughts on all this, please. Thanks for listening, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.